Hey everybody, happy hump day, Wednesday, therapy day. Holy moly, what is happening in the world? It's totally insane. And here we are, and I appreciate you all so much. Thank you all always for joining me and helping me get through this insanity in the world. So, I see you all here. Thank you so much for joining me. It means a lot to me, and I do appreciate having these conversations because I feel exhausted. I feel actually like physically exhausted, and I'm pretty sure it's all the anger and hate in the world. So I think before we move forward, I'm really trying to bring some semblance of something, maybe bridge building, or I don't know, like something less hateful and mean and angry to the world. So with that, I want to say, hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me. And I want to give you all a shout out to where you're from. So I see the Netherlands, the Netherlands put first. So happy birthday to you, my friend. Happy birthday, friend. So why don't you all tell me where you're from and I can give you a shout out and we can move forward into this very important conversation today. And I see Florida's in the house and I see Courtney's in the house. Thank you. I see Wales is in the house. I see Philly, UK. Thank you so much for all Arkansas, England, North Carolina. You look at this, you guys. We get people from everywhere. Colorado's in the house, Denmark, Vermont, UK, Canada, Colorado, UK. Right on, everybody. NorCal is in the house. Upstate New York. I'll be in New York in June, early June for my birthday. So awesome. New Jersey Shores in the house. South Louisiana. Where's Woo? California. I live in California. We can talk about that later. Indiana, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Boston. You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for being here. It really means a lot. And look at everyone from all over the place. Florida, Arkansas. We got West Virginia. I haven't been to West Virginia. I want to take my mom and go there because my mom's from West Virginia and I haven't been, and it looks amazingly beautiful. And my parents are getting old and I just want to spend some time with them. And I thought it would be an amazing space to go to. So if I hit West Virginia, I know it's big, but maybe we can hang out and have a coffee. Colorado, England, Sydney's in the house. Right on. I'll be in Sydney, Australia next February speaking. So just so you know, it's a little bit ahead of that. But North Carolina, Ontario, Minnesota's in the house. Okay. So you know what? Charleston, West Virginia. And then she ended up, I think, living in Kentucky for a little while and then came to California when my mom was about 6 years old when she came to California. And that's where she met my dad. And but I'm a total native California kid. So Brazil's in the house. London's in the house. Yeah, West Virginia is, from what I see, it's incredibly beautiful, and I really do want to head over there and check it out. So, hey everybody, thank you again for joining me. Yeah, Charleston, West Virginia, it's beautiful. Washington State's in the house. So let's move forward and get on some conversation. Portugal's in the house. Thank you for joining us today. And Earth is in the house. Right on. And Missouri's in the house. So with that, y'all, I just been thinking a lot. I just been thinking a lot here about why we're so hateful towards each other. Adelaide, I have I don't know if you know all this. I'll move forward on this real quick. But in Adelaide, Australia, which is here in the house, if you've been to the Museum of Art there, I have a full sculpture of myself that was bought as a permanent piece to the Adelaide Museum of Art in Australia. And it's a full, like literally life-size nude sculpture of me, and it sits in the Adelaide Museum of Art, and it's been there, I think, for maybe 10 years now, maybe not, but it's really, oh, hi Tel Aviv, thank you for joining us. Thank you to all my Israeli friends and to all my Palestinian friends. It's hard. It's very hard what is happening right now, but the one thing I want to say is this, and then we don't have to talk about it. But what I want to say is about this. We all care about people. We all care about people. So when people are fighting for this Israeli space, free Palestine, do this, you have to understand we are also being manipulated by the higher powers that be. People, meaning us, we care about each other. I don't care what anybody says. Palestinians care about Israelis. Israelis care about Palestinians. It's the higher up people who are causing this conflict between us all. I truly believe that. Now, that being said, I also believe, and you don't have to in any way, shape, or form agree with me, I do believe in an Israeli state. Okay. I believe in it, but that's just my own space. That being said, I care about everybody, and I care that people have peace in this world. They have love, they have acceptance, no matter who you are, no matter if you're Muslim, Jewish, Christian, Hindu, whatever you are. That's what me and you, okay, need to understand. Now, what I see is happening is the bigger powers that be are manipulating us to choose sides. And that's the dangerous part. That is the 100 most dangerous part we need to understand. And you can totally disagree with me, Stardust. I value that. I don't in any way, shape, or form think that we can disagree. That's what I'm trying to show everybody here. Me and you can disagree on the political stance of the Middle East. We can disagree, but do we live there? Do we actually live there? And are me and you in any way, shape, or form as Americans, are we being hurt by that situation? Are we? That is something we must sit and think about as Americans who are screaming free Palestine, or who are, I'm a Zionist. We need to understand the complexity of that conversation. It is very difficult. Now, again, I'm going to tell you, I believe there are higher powers that manipulate us and try to divide us and try to get us to hate on each other and try to pick sides. There are very dangerous people in this country. If you are an American here sitting with me today, there are dangerous people sitting in this country who are trying to get you to side with people who do not like you as an American, who do not want you to be an American, who want to wipe out America. Remember, we are a democracy. We are a democracy. You can never forget that, and how important that is to our survival as Americans, no matter what you believe politically. If you are an American, then you must believe in democracy. That is the value of our whole country. It is the reason we are here. It is what we created. Thank you, Jen. Thank you. It's election year. There you go. Right on point. It's an election year in the United States, and yes, they are trying to divide us. It is. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate that, and it's very, very important that we understand that, because if we do not understand that, we don't understand what's going on. When I see what's happening in the universities now, I'm all about protesting. I think protesting is part of democracy. We should have the freedom to protest what we believe in, whether it's LGBT rights, whether it's rights for Jewish people, Palestinian people, Muslims, Arabs, whatever you are feeling that you need to protest, pro-abortion, anti-abortion. That is the basis of democracy. Okay? Now, that being said, there is also rules and regulations to democracy. There are rules and regulations to protesting, and why there is that fine line there. When it becomes a physically violent space, it's no longer a protest to me. Now it's become something else. Now it's become violent and nasty. And you all know it, and we all see it, no matter what you want to believe. Now, you also, for me, this is all coming from my brain. You don't have to agree with me in any way, shape, or form. It's coming from my brain and what I see as a 61-year-old who grew up in this country, who has lived in Mexico for 10 years, have traveled the world. I have been everywhere and have seen a lot. It's not everyone has been in the same space I have. I've lived half my life as a woman and half my life as a man. I come to these things with a different thought process. It doesn't make me right. I don't want you to think I'm sitting here telling you this is what you do not have to believe anything I'm saying. I'm trying to give a different point of view and understand the whole thing. So when we see young kids doing that, I love that. I love that kids know how to protest. I love that young people understand the value of protest. What I do not like is when the higher ups are manipulating young people's brains, because I do see that. I 100% do see that. When I see free Palestine, I do not see democracy in that, okay? I do not even think these young people understand what they are saying when they say free Palestine. From what? From what? I would like to know from what. If you said to me, free Palestine from Hamas, that would make sense to me. Because I don't want to see a group of people getting slaughtered. Any group of people should never be slaughtered. But we fail to forget there are always people in charge. There are always people in charge of this. The people under here, Ukraine, all the other Syria, all the other places that are being slaughtered, people, are you forgetting? It's not just Palestine. Do you know how many genocides and places are going on in this world right now? Yet all we hear is free Palestine. How come you're not saying anything about any of the other places where women are being slaughtered, where people are being slaughtered? We care about the people. It's the bad people who are creating this environment. And that's what we need to have. When I hear free Palestine, okay, I hear manipulation. I'm not kidding, because half of these people who are protesting this, they don't even know what they're saying. They don't understand, because you know how I know this? Because I've been watching a lot, and I watch the people who are asking, do you understand what free Palestine is? And these people, they spin out. They spin out. They don't. Do you know what from the river to the sea means? They spin out. Do you know what they want? To wipe out all Jewish people? That is an actual genocide. When a group of people want to wipe out another group of people, that is an actual genocide. Now, do you think the Israeli people really want to wipe out Palestinians? No, they do not. No, they do not. They want to wipe out Hamas. It's my opinion. Super Beast, thank you. Love you, Uncle Buck. Yes, the current American government is dividing us with ill intention to keep citizens fighting so they can, right there. If we all woke up to that, thank you, friend. If we all woke up to that, I think we would understand what's going on in a bigger, thank you, Courtney. Thank you, beautiful friend. Been actively fighting the hate and war and violence, criminal acts, encouragement from the left. Yes, for the last 2 days, they say they're not murdering anyone, so they're peaceful and justified to cheer on. No, this is, Courtney, thank you for that. I live in LA, UCLA, yesterday. There were free Palestine protesters punching Israeli people, not letting them into class. So who's the violent one? Who's the violent one? Who are creating the violence? It's a very, 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 thank you for becoming a new member. Thank you so much, Luna. I appreciate that. I'm willing to have the conversation. It is not easy. I'm not choosing sides. I don't want you to choose sides. Thank you for being a 5-month member. Don't choose sides. Choose honesty, choose reality, choose what's the best for all of us, not just some of us. It's what I keep saying about the trans space. It's not just about some of us, it's about all of us. Who is actually benefiting? Who do you think is benefiting from the trans space right now? I'm not. I'm not benefiting in any way, shape, or form. And in fact, it's making it worse for me as a transsexual. So I'm not, hey, Lizzie, thank you so much, friend. These people could be putting energy into protesting the actual problems in our own countries that we are facing, like trafficking. Oh my God, so many things that are going on in this country. Yet they're putting all their energies over there. Why? Does anybody here actually think the Free Palestine protesters are going to actually do something positive? Do you think something does anyone, let me move forward here. Does anyone or all of you think the Free Palestine protesters are going to accomplish anything? I don't. Nope. Nope. Neither do I. I do not. And if any of you do, I'd like to know why. I do not believe they're going to accomplish anything. They are wasting time. They are wasting resources. They are wasting so much of what we could be putting our efforts into. But instead, so this is what I want you to see. There is somebody in charge of teaching these young people. They're 20-year-olds. Come on. They're 20-year-olds. They're not 40 and 50. Thank you, friend. Thank you, Tim, and thanks for being a member. They're 20-year-olds. We all know how easy it is to manipulate a 20-year-old. Hey, you can see it in the trans community. You're trans because you just feel different. You're trans because you want to wear man's clothes. You can easily manipulate young people. Why do you think in the history of war we have always used young people? Because they're easy to manipulate into, I'm doing the right thing. So I don't blame a lot of these young people. I think they do think they're doing the right thing. I do think that because the higher ups are telling them that they're doing the right thing. These people are professional activists. Do you know that? They're not college students, the ones who are leading these pro free Palestine stuff. They're not. They're actually they're actually older adults who are coming in and getting these young people to be a part of this. They're not even going to these schools. They're not even going to these schools. I guarantee you. These are professionals who are coming in, getting all these people to do this stuff because they think they're doing something good. And then what's going to come from it? Now these kids are getting arrested. They don't understand. There's one thing I want to say to you. As a protester, and you're out there protesting, and then you turn around and you say, we need food and water. You have to let food and water in. What protests have you been to? Since when is that? How is that? Just says to me right there, bam, these kids don't know what they're doing. They don't have a clue about protesting. They don't have a clue about what it takes. They don't have a clue about you don't get anything. These are the same kids that are all trans. Do you notice a lot of the protesters are they, thems? Do you notice that? They're all they, thems, a lot of them. They're all in the LGBTQIA pee poo poo community. It's the same kids. It's the same ones that were doing BLM, that were doing trans rights activism, that are doing trans kids. It's the same exact people. I hope you can see that. They're very young. They're very easily manipulated. They think they're doing something so great, they're in for a big fucking surprise. And now they're getting arrested and they're freaking out. Why are you arresting me? I'm just a student here. Nope. You put your ass out there, you get arrested. That's how it works, people. That's why I don't care that. I actually think it's important that some of these kids get arrested. I'm actually serious. These are really bratty kids. Now, again, I'm going to tell you that I believe in protests. I believe you should have the right. That's why I live in this country. We live in a democracy. I'm allowed to say, no, I do not believe children should be transitioning. That is why I am here. You should say, no, free Palestine. That should be completely okay for you to say that. I disagree. But it doesn't mean that I can't go to class as a Jewish person because you disagree with me. That's not the way it works here. We don't live in a communist country, by the way. When you are pushing these kind of narratives, you are pushing communism. You are also pushing this idea that you get what you want, but the other people don't get what they want. Since when? The same people who are protesting free Palestine are the same ones who created cancel culture. Do you know that? They're the same people who created cancel culture. Freedom of speech? Really? Those people don't believe in freedom of speech in any way, shape, or form. They only believe what they want to believe. That's not liberalism. That's not true liberalism or democracy in any. That is a part of communism. That is not my value in this country, and I will not stand for it. What I will stand for is peaceful protests, 100%. I will not stand for you get to say what you get to say and I don't. Nope. No way, Jose. No way. Courtney, I was a professional protester and organizer. None of this is protest. They're infiltrated by criminals. See, you just said, I told you. I told you. And Courtney's no dummy. Courtney knows exactly what Courtney is talking about. Courtney's been around the block a couple times. I value Courtney a lot. Now, with that, right? Now, with that, we must understand this. Freedom of speech applies to all of us, not just some of us. So when you see a massive, this is the part that blows my mind. It blows my mind. How are there so many young people free Palestine? How? How is that possible? Those kids don't know what they're saying. They don't. They don't know shit about Palestine. They don't know shit about the Middle East political space. They do not. More than half of those kids have never even been to the Middle East. Half of those kids don't even know what the Middle East is. That's the part that's pissing me off. When they're like free Palestine, and then you ask them, what does that actually mean? They don't have a clue. They do not have a clue. They think they are doing the right thing. That's what they think. And that's the sad part about the whole thing. It's going to turn hard on them. And they're going to have a very rude awakening. Whatever you believe about Israel, I'm not big on the government there. I do not like the leader of that country, which many Israelis do not like. But I have been to Israel. I have spoken in Israel. I was invited to be in the gay parade, one of the biggest in the world, by the way. Did you know that Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East? It is also the only LGBT-friendly country in the Middle East. Did you all know that? So when you see Queers for Palestine, you have got to be fucking kidding me. That's how I know these people don't know or have a clue what the fuck they're talking about. We know there are Palestinian queers who said, are you fucking kidding me? Even they're saying it. They escaped Palestine and live in Israel. Do you know that? These are things people need to know in order to do an actual protest for reals, not because somebody's telling you to say it. The way people just follow the leader in this country blows my mind. You have every right to vote for whoever you choose to vote for, not because your wife, not because your mom, not because your family, not because you think. You should do some research before you start to say things. It is very, but that's an age thing. That is an actual, I did the same thing these young people are doing. It's why I know what's happening. They're being completely manipulated into thinking they're doing the right thing. Hey, Lizzie, thank you. I've watched and read a lot of aftermath of World War II documentaries, and everyone forgot that old Nazis came over here and just kind of pretended nothing happened. Are we? That's right. I watch a ton of that stuff too. You know that term history repeats. Thanks, Lizzie. You know that term history repeats itself? That came from somewhere for a reason. You all know that, right? Hey, Jen, thank you. The youth is constantly told that they're on the right side of history. So you don't want to be on the wrong side of history. That's manipulative. That's exactly right. You see how they manipulate them? How my God. It's frustrating to me as an old man. I'm like, the right side of history? What does that even mean? My number one fan from Israel. Hi, beautiful friend. I'll send you a text a little bit later today, I want to ask you something. I'm really planning to come to Israel, by the way. So I'm working on getting that situated because I want to come. So anyway, because I actually want to go to Israel and do some interviews and talk to people there and really get, you know, some other opinions about things. But if I'm actually in Israel, I also get to see things. And I want to go. I loved Israel. It was one of my favorite places that I ever visited. I was treated like a rock star. I was totally treated like a rock star in Israel. It was amazing. It was an amazing country. The people there are so amazing and beautiful and nice. I'm not talking about the government. Fuck the governments. I hate all governments. They're all full of shit. Let's just be real here, people. Let's be real here. All governments, they're egomaniacs. They want to control everybody, even here. Let's be real about it. But we have to have government. We have to have governing bodies, or else everything will be a total shit show. I mean, more than it is now. I'm not really sure about that. Would it be better? Thank you, friend. Would it be better if we just ran all the people just ran the country? At this point, I'm kind of wondering maybe we should just vote for for us. Also, I wanted to say this. In the Columbia University place, right? All we see is the people's, you know, this language, the people's university. Do you all know where that language comes from? The people's university. You all know where that comes from. That language. Marxism, communism, Marxism, communism. It does. That's where it comes from. The People's Republic, right? The People's Republic. Okay, here. This is great. Hey, Change, thanks so much for the comment. Hey, Buck Angel, you're not a lawyer. Nope. I'm not a negotiator. Nope. I'm not a politician. Thank God. I'm not a foreign policy expert. Nope. So please be mindful of what you are doing and saying. Let the experts, nope. I'm allowed to say what I want to say. Thank you for your comment. I appreciate it. But no, I'll say what I want to say. I live in America. I live in a democracy. If people can say free Palestine and people can say from the river to the sea and people can make comments about wiping out certain groups of people, so can I. So you're allowed to say that to me, and it's why I brought it up here. But no, don't tell me what to say, and don't tell me to shut up, because that's basically what you're telling me to do. I agree with you. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a negotiator. I'm not a politician. I'm not a foreign policy expert. What am I? What am I? I'm a human being with my own fucking brain, and I can say whatever the fuck I want about what I want. Just like everybody else. I live in America and I value my freedom of speech here. It's why I live here. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you live in America. Maybe, I don't know. You're more than welcome to click off. Click off. That's what people don't seem to understand. Click off. Don't listen to me. There are a lot of fucking people here listening to me because they want to listen to me. I don't force people to come here and listen to me, nor do I force people to take on my belief system. I said it from the beginning. If you were here from the beginning, you probably wouldn't be saying that. I said from the beginning, this is my, opinion in my brain. And I am entitled to this opinion in my brain. And you cannot tell me to shut up ever, because you know what that makes me do, Change? It makes me want to speak out more. So thank you for your comment. I totally appreciate it. Thank you very much. So with that, proved my point. When people don't want to hear what they want to hear, they try to shut you down with bullshit like that. You're not this. Oh, what are all those kids on the campuses? I'd like to know what all those fucking kids, Free Palestine, are on the campuses. Are you going to go to campus, Change? And are you going to tell all those people to shut the fuck up? Because they're not. They're not lawyers. They're not negotiators. They're not foreign policy makers. They're students. So are you taking the same time that you came on my channel to go to those universities and tell those students to shut the fuck up? Are you? No, you're not. No, you're not. because I know the kind of people you are. It's easy for you to come on these without knowing who the fuck you are, where you come from, who you are, to come and tell somebody like me to shut up. You understand what I'm talking about? I'm very mindful of what comes out of my mouth. I think you all know that. Okay? Okay? I think you all know that. I'm very, very mindful. I don't just show up and say things. I never do that. I say things because I believe in them. Okay. I say things because I want to say things. I created this specific channel so that I can say things. Okay. I'm not fighting. I'm not fighting. Who just said that? I'm not fighting people. You always mix up fighting with passion. There's a big difference. I am passionate. I'm passionate about trans issues. I'm passionate about the Middle East right now for many reasons. I'm passionate about speaking my mind. I'm passionate about being my own person. I'm passionate about encouraging you all to stand up for what you believe in, no matter what people say to you. It is called passion. It is not called anger, and it is not called fighting. This is where we are losing the battle. We've now determined that if you disagree with somebody, you are fighting with them. That is not true. It is the reason why they took debate out of university. Do you know that? Do you all know that they took debate out of university? Because young people were getting their feelings hurt because they couldn't debate. That should scare you. Every young person should take a debate class. They should learn how to have disagreement. Jen, thank you, Jen. You have to hear the bad stuff in order to understand the good stuff. I don't care that people say things to me. You all know that. I wouldn't have brought change up here if I would have hit it and not even acknowledged what that person said if I was worried about it, right? Please don't let history repeat itself. I would not be here now. History does. It repeats itself. It's an actual real thing. That's why they say that. It's scary. It's like nobody learns. It just keeps going over and over and over and over. And it's why the Middle East thing is so difficult to talk about. Most people haven't even been to the Middle East. They don't even understand what's going on over there. They don't understand how important Israel is. My opinion is Israel is an important space in the world of democracy. It is a democracy state in a place where there is no democracy. It is openly gay there. They welcome people like me there. Do you think I could go anywhere else in the Middle East and be welcomed with open arms? If so, tell me where. I'd like to know. Stardust, I might disagree with you, but I would never want you to shut up about your opinion. I know your heart isn't. Thank you, friend. You would be sitting at my dinner table, Stardust. My dinner table is full of people we all disagree with. It is amazing. My dinners are amazing because I invite people like you over so that we can actually have a debate and I can learn. I'm not solid in all my belief system. I hope you're not either. I hope you're willing to change your mind if you hear things. Can I tell you how many times I've changed my mind about things? A lot. And I think people who don't change their minds are weird because you're not willing to actually open up and say, wait a minute here, I want to have a discussion. Maybe what I am thinking isn't the right way. Maybe I'm missing a part of the equation. 2 + 2 = 4, as far as I know. So really disagree with me. And that's what I love about you. Disagree with me. Let's have conversation about it. People aren't willing to have disagreement, right? If you disagree with Free Palestine or you disagree with pro Israel, you're a bad person because you didn't pick a side. Why do you have to pick a side? Why can't you be sort of like in the middle and say, I want peace for everyone. I want to find a way that we can actually coexist on this earth together. I don't want to see what's happening over there. But who is causing that? And why is that happening for such a long time? That's what we need to talk about. Why is it still not fixed? Hey, Lizzie, thank you. Tour the world with a conference called Dinner with Buck. Actually, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. I love to have conversation. History doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. That's excellent. Thank you, friend. So, I just want you missed a super chat. Seth said, Buck, you missed a super chat from hold on, you guys. It moves to you missed a super chat from Molly. Oh, I did. I'm sorry, Molly. Don't be mad at me, Molly. Hold on, let me find it. I'll find it. Or maybe Seth, can you bring it up? Seth, can you bring it up? Thank you. Just let Seth bring it up. And if I did, I apologize. I get passionate about what I talk about. So I bet I could change your mind about non-binary people, Buck. But what is my stance on non-binary people? I I have no stance other than the fact that I don't believe that they're transgender. But non-binary is an identity choice. That I don't have any issue. I have friends who are non-binary. I don't, right? I don't have any. Oh, well, let me find it. Let me find it, Molly. Don't be disappointed. Okay, I'll find it. Don't worry. I'll find it. Um, so no, I really like for people here to tell me what is let me just find oh Molly, I'm so sorry, friend. Um, what your what my stance is. I like people to understand what is my stance on non-binary. I think people have a misconception of what I believe. Here we go. Hi, Molly. It cracks me up that the people shouting queers for Palestine are the same ones boycotting. That's right. Thank you. Great. That's right. That's where I can show you they're confused. They don't know what they're saying. There's no such thing for queers for Palestine. Are you insane? What? That literally makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense. So you're right. People just latch on to ideas because they're told to latch on to those ideas and they don't really do any research about it. So, okay, I'm sorry, Molly, for missing that, but I got you. Okay, friend. So I have no problem. Hi, Kimberly. Thanks for joining us. No problem with anyone identifying with any idea of non binary. My stance on non binary is this: I do not believe non binary is trans, period. You can't change my mind. It's not. Trans is a medical condition, it's not an identity choice. It is literally a medical condition. It has been co opted by trans ideology. That's what you have to understand. Okay. I've been doing this for a long time. You can't just come in and rewrite what is my medical condition to make yourself feel better and to start saying you don't need gender dysphoria. Anyone can be trans. Non binary is valid. No, you can't do that. Not on my watch. So I'm not really sure what you're going to change my mind on, but you have every opportunity to do that. You're not going to change my mind if that's what you think. I believe people identify as non-binary. I believe people think they are non-binary. I do not believe non-binary is trans anything. And that's just that. It's not a big deal. It's like saying you're queer. Now, anyone can be queer. Nobody even knows the definition of queer because straight people have co opted queer. And you can't deny that. We have a lot of straight people pretending they are queer because they're also non binary. It's fascinating to me that anyone would even take that on. Why would you want to be queer if you're not? And why would you want to be trans if you're not? It just doesn't make any sense to me. And that's why I'll keep pushing back on it. So anyway, that being said, hate, divide. People are pissed off at each other. People don't follow you anymore. Oh my God. If I could tell you how many people write me, I'm not following you anymore. I used to like you, Buck. I used to think you were this, Buck. I What? I don't even know who you are. I didn't even know you were following me. What? What? You just unfollow me. Just unfollow me. Why are you telling me? But because, again, it's so incredibly narcissistic, the space we are all in today. The fact that somebody has to tell you because I wouldn't notice. That's why. Because I wouldn't notice that you unfollowed me. So I think that's why you're telling me you're unfollowing me, right? I'm just like, when I read it, I'm like, okay, if that makes you feel better, you go right ahead and unfollow me. But I'm really not sure why you're telling me that, as if I care. I don't care. I actually don't care. I don't want somebody following me who doesn't like me and who doesn't really want to participate or have some semblance of alignment with me. Why would you want to follow me in the first place? But this is where we are, people. It's a divide. If I don't like everything you say, Buck, I can't follow you anymore. I can't follow. I can't stand it. Like, what? I follow so here's another thing that I find to be very fascinating. People will go look to see who you follow. Do you know that? They'll go look and say, okay, so for example, I follow JK Rowling because I like JK and she's awesome and she's been very nice to me and sent me little tidbits on Twitter. And I thought that was really nice of her. So I was like, cool, she seems totally awesome. And I believe everything she says. Nothing is transphobic in any way, shape, or form. Because you can flip that narrative on those people who say that she's transphobic. You can flip the narrative on them and call them misogynist. Because anyone who believes that J.K. Rowling is a transphobe is a misogynist. Did you know that? Think about it for a minute. So it's okay to call somebody transphobic, right? I think we all grew up. I didn't grow up on Harry Potter, but all the kids love Harry Potter. I bought the Harry Potter game to play with my kid. But you understand what I'm saying? So, like, you can call J.K. Rowling a turf and a transphobe and a bigot and everything else in the book. But aren't you a misogynist for calling her that and also not listening to her concerns as a woman? Isn't that misogyny? You see how that works? It's stupid. It's just stupid. All a matter of perspective, Kay. Thanks, Courtney. I follow people I like, people I don't agree with. I have to in order to get a full picture of what's going on. That was going to be my point, by the way, friend. That was going to be my point. My point was I follow all kinds of people. If you don't follow haters and you don't follow people you disagree with, how do you learn? How do you get a well-rounded idea of what's going on in the world? If you don't follow everybody, disagreeing, not disagreeing, haters, people who want to see you literally gone, I follow them all. I don't care. I get to see all kinds of things like that. I like to see when people say mean things about me. I like it because I get to understand where they're coming from, right? I mean, you should see the way people talk about me. It's crazy. I'm like, really? I don't think that's me, actually. But it's people's interpretation of me, right? People could sit here and see me saying all this stuff and interpret it in a way that might not align with them and then use it to say Buck is X, Y, and Z because that's the way the internet works. But I'm not going to stop saying what I believe in. And I'm not going to stop believing in the things I believe in. And I'm not going to shut my mouth because some people think I should shut my mouth. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. But what I want to really say is that I think the hate has is really gotten insane. And I think the hate is really nasty. And I think it's going to escalate to something scary. I do. I feel it. I feel it in the air. And I feel a lot of people being misguided, and I feel a lot of anger and resentment and hate if you're not on the right side of history, right? I feel it all. So, I mean, whatever you believe about J.K. Rowling, That's okay. You're allowed to have that belief system. I don't believe she's transphobic. I believe she's a woman who had a rough life. I mean, my God, it's amazing what that woman did with herself and said things that are very okay and in no way, shape, or form against trans people. She's talking about her own space. So why can trans people talk about their own space, but a woman can't? This is where I don't understand, nor will I support those trans activists because they're full of shit and they're not making any sense. Dana, thank you, friend. I'm not LGBTQ. I really appreciate how you explain everything and how you don't want people to mess with kids. Thank you, friend. I appreciate. No, leave the kids alone, people. These kids, they're suffering. They're suffering because adults are putting their own idea of what you need to be. If the adults just get out of the way and let the kids just do their thing, none of this would be happening. This is all coming from adults. You know that. It's all coming from adults. The whole trans kid thing, the whole I got a kid, I got a trans, it's all adults. It's not the kids. If you leave the kids to be, they're just going to be fine. They're going to be fine. So with that, everybody, thank you for the great conversation today. I do appreciate it. I know it can get a little bit heavy, but that I believe in heavy conversation, right? What are we going to do? Right? Oh, thanks. Your first live. Thank you, friend. So I wonder if Buck noticed the emoji yet. No, I didn't, Seth. Because that thing moves so quick and I'm trying to like make sure I get everybody. So give the old man a break here. So I'm going to bring up a couple things here. One of them I just want to bring up. I brought things that I'm going to be kind of making fun of because that's just the way when you put it on the internet, it's going to get made fun of. So I want to bring this up because we were talking about kids and adults, right? And when kids are just kids, we all know that. But when adults start to put their own sort of ideologies or things that they believe kids should know, that's the dangerous part to me. Kids should know math, science, how to be a good person, walking the world, learning manners. These kinds of things are very important for kids to learn. Discipline, all of those things. That's real basic, right? That's basic humanity, I think, right? Side-eye tramp up, totally. So watch. This is actually fascinating. This one fascinates me.
It's about queer people and who we are and what we stand for, and that we are just human beings like everyone else. So it was always my goal to go into schools and be me, and just through being me, educate people on the side about like queer lives and what we do and how normal it all is. So they call me Mux Fellows. They use they them pronouns, and they know that's an expectation. First ever lesson I teach of any class. This is what I expect.
So do you all think this is a teacher, I don't know if you can understand, this is a teacher who comes in and thinks these young kids, which they look about 10 years old, should be being taught how to be queer. That's what this teacher is saying. And that this teacher's they, them pronouns and this teacher's identity is part of teaching these kids. I disagree. I disagree. Why? Oh, thank you, Belinda. Thank you for becoming a member. Thank you, friend. I disagree. What does that have to do with teaching? Why are you teaching kids that?
And it kind of enforced like you would normal rule, because it's the rules which I have for myself, and it's the rules I expect for students to respect me. So, in order for me.
Did you hear that? The teacher said, it's the rules I live by, so I expect the kids to live by my adult rules. Since when does a teacher get to bring their own personal idea of what it means to be X, Y, and Z into the classroom? Since when? Never. Never. No teacher should ever.
To respect them. So it's still a two-way process.
Two-way? Dude, you're teaching 10-year-olds. You're not teaching college students. Big difference. You are teaching 10-year-old students this language of non-binary, queer, they, them. You can be anything you want. You can be a kitty cat. What? That is not okay. I don't understand why people think this is okay. I really
just saying
have a hard
that this
time.
is how it is, and showing them that it's something that an adult has done in a respectable position shows, actually, you know what, this people do this. This is normal. His people are...
No, it's not normal. Okay, right there. He wants to normalize. That's what he wants to do. He wants to normalize non-binary, they, them, to 10-year-olds. You see that? How is that not indoctrination? How is that not indoctrination? You can't normalize something that's not normal. This is not normal. I don't care how many of you people want to pretend like you're normal when you're trans. You're not normal. This is not normal. Yes, you can normalize something, but is it actually normal for me to be this person? No, it is not. How do you think I live so comfortably in the world? Because I know I'm not normal. Doesn't mean it's bad. Because something isn't normal doesn't mean it's bad. It just isn't normal. And why would you want to tell kids that it's normal to be they, them? Because when they get older and you've indoctrinated them into this thought process, they're going to realize they're not normal. And they're going to realize that the rest of the world is not like them. And how is that doing a service to that child? Normal is relative. That's a great thing. You're right. But at the same time, I don't think of myself as normal. I think of myself as a person who has a disorder that I fixed it. It's not a big deal, but this is not normal. It's why I don't think children should be taught trans and non-binary until they're old enough to start to understand identity choices and start to understand, maybe I do feel a little bit different. Maybe I am attracted to that other girl. Maybe I am attracted to that other boy. Maybe I don't want to be a boy or girl. That is okay. That is completely okay. But it is not okay to tell a 10-year-old, I'm a normal teacher who's a man who wants to dress like a woman, though I'm not really a woman, though I think I'm a woman, and I'm they, them pronouns, and I'm queer, and I'm polyamorous, and what? I don't understand. It's a disorder for a reason. Normal is the only setting on a clothes. That's just my belief system. I just don't believe children should know that.
So I thought...
Okay, this one I brought because I can't. Really? Just watch.
Ready for my tattoo appointment, so I thought, you've seen this outfit before, so I thought we could do a twirl check with the dress instead.
What? Your balls are showing. Oh my God. I know. Is that transphobic? I don't know if it is, and I don't really care. Because what? When you put yourself on the internet like that with a transgender flag behind you, and you're like 70, and you're like wearing a little girl dress and talking about getting a tattoo, and you're like, oh, come on, man. I'm so embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. I don't want to be trans. I just don't want to have anything to do with that stuff. It is so crazy, you guys. I'm like, what? When I saw that, I was like, why? Just why? Hi, Glitter. If you're queer by your own definition, you're not normal. Thank you. He wants to be a rebel and part of the mainstream establishment at the same. You hit it right on the head. Everyone wants to be different, right? He's probably just a dude and he wants to just be queer because that's because anyone could be queer now. Anyone could be queer. You don't even have to be gay to be queer. It's so absurd. It's absurd. It doesn't make sense to me. Now, I'm going to do this one and then I'm going to save this other one for the last, but I'm going to put this one.
Theme of the week. This week's
okay, here we go.
Trans and polyamorous therapist in Texas, and this is my therapy theme of the week. This week's theme honors Lesbian Visibility Week. As I myself am a trans lesbian, this is what I want to say about lesbians. One of the reasons why I love being a lesbian and I love lesbians is because we get to show the world that it is possible to love outside the dimensions of patriarchy. We, with sapphic love, create an entirely different dimension, an entirely different way of loving people and living, and it's so fucking beautiful. It's as important as the sunshine. The world is a better place with sapphic love in it.
Oh my God, you
Hi, my name
guys.
is Luce.
You guys. Okay, so that's a man who thinks they're a woman. I'm a female who thinks I'm a man, so it's fair. It's totally fair. But then this person goes on to talk about they're a lesbian. At first they said they're a trans lesbian. Then they said they're a lesbian. Then they said, I know you all saw it, but I'm just kind of, and then they went on. Did you hear the part about the patriarchy? That's the part that a beard and a mustache. A beard and a mustache saying they're a lesbian. Come on, people. Come on, man. This is why women are pissed. This is why J.K. Rowling is pissed. This is why people in the trans community are pissed. People like that are grifters. That is not a trans woman. There is no trans woman I know that would ever do that. A therapist. Lizzie, sounds like my uncle joking he's a lesbian. That's right. Do you all remember back in the day, they would have dudes would go around saying they were lesbians? You have to remember that. Dudes used to go around saying they were lesbians. Now they're actually doing it. It's an actual thing. I remember back in the day, dudes would say, I'm a lesbian, because it was funny. Of course, they like women. Straight dudes would say they're a lesbian. It's literally happening now. I won't stand for it. I lived a lot of my life as a lesbian. I remember back in the day when men would say, oh, you just didn't have the right man. They would say stuff like that. This is what's happening. And it's not okay. I will not be on. That is a man who wants to be a woman. Go right ahead, dude. No one fucking cares. But you're not a lesbian. You're not a lesbian. And the lesbians keep telling you you're not a lesbian. Yet there you are, punching your man fist right through it. Yes, I am. I'm a trans lesbian. Get out of my way. And then the motherfucker goes on to talk about the patriarchy. If that's not the patriarchy at its finest, I don't know what the patriarchy is. It's literally a man. Oh my God, you guys, it's going to come to a head. It's no other way around it. Jen says, if that person was my therapist, I'd walk out, and I doubt they're getting any actual lesbians as clients. No, that's right. They're not. Thanks, Jen. They're not. They're not getting lesbians as client. That dude wants to be a unicorn. Hey, Cecilia, nice to see you. Oh my God. I mean, we got to call these people out. We've got to. You can do what you want, but I am. And you can call me transphobic all you want. And you can call me a bad person all you want. But I care. I care about reality. I care about the trans community. I care about us getting back into some sense of reality. I care about my lesbian sisters. I care about my gay male brothers. I care about the LGBT community. And we fought our asses off. Okay? I was part of that. And now you're all just acting insane because you have way too many fucking rights or something you're not happy with. You're not happy with what you have. Do you know how much you have? My God, it's shocking to me. You're all acting like you don't have anything. You know, I wish I had a time machine. I really do. I wish we could put all of you people who don't understand what you have in that time machine and send you back to the 80s where AIDS destroyed us all. You will come back from that time machine a different person. I will almost guarantee you. When you are in an actual epidemic of your brothers and sisters dying of AIDS, which was mostly the gay men, there were some women, it will change your perspective on what you have and what you don't have. You have so much, but you don't see it because you're in it. That's with anything. When you're in it, you can't see out of it. Hey, Howard. Thank you, friend. I appreciate you. I just found your channel this week and just love your content. It's so refreshing how honest and straightforward you are, Buck. Oh, thank you. We need more people to step up and do the same. Oh, I appreciate you so much. That means a lot to me. It really does. I can't tell you. It makes my heart pound because it's not easy. I think you all know that. You saw it earlier when I was saying things about the Middle East and people were like, I should shut up because, I mean, I don't know. Change wasn't being mean. He was just, or they, whatever they are, was just saying, like, I think you better, like, and no, don't tell me not to say things. The whole internet's people in my community tell me not to say things. My community, I don't like that. I've never been that person. I've always been a person who felt like I need to say what I need to say, no matter what. I've always been that person. I got in trouble for it. I got in trouble for saying things I probably shouldn't have said. Today, I'm losing thousands of followers because I say things people don't want to hear and I say things they don't like. So what? Do you think I care about the followers? Do you know what I care about? Do you all even understand what I care about? I think you do, because I don't think you would be here if you didn't understand what I talk about and why I'm here. I'm here because I believe in freedom of speech. I'm here because I believe you should be able to say things even if they hurt my feelings. I believe that I, as a person, have integrity, and it means a lot. My own integrity means a lot to me. It enables me to walk the world with my eyes open and my hat here, and this ability to let you say things to me, even though they might hurt my feelings. It is what I'm trying to show people. We have to start to stand up and say the things that are important to us and to stop being fearful because somebody might unfollow you or call you a bigot or call you a Nazi or call you a transphobe. I can't tell you how many times a day people say those things to me. Do you know what that does to me? It makes me feel good. It does, because it makes me feel like I'm doing something. When people come at me and call me all those names, it means I'm doing something. It means it's actually cracking people's brains and they can't stand it. Because today I believe people are walking like this and I believe people follow. That's why they go, I'm unfollowing you. I'm unfollowing you. What world do you live in? Do you just tell your friend, I'm never going to see you anymore? A lot of people just don't call you back. And when you don't get the call back, that's it. They're not your friend anymore. Who cares? Move on. Find other friends, find other groups. I mean, I've gone through so many groups of people in my life. I find that to be growth. I find that to be very powerful. But all of that comes with age. And as a 62-year-old transsexual man, well, God, I just got ahead of myself. I'll be 62 in June. I'm getting ready and saying it. And when I have people come up here and say that to me, it just means the world to me. It means the world to me because it says that person is willing to listen to somebody with different opinions. That person is willing to listen, even though they might not agree with me, but they're willing to have conversation and they're willing to listen to a different type of person. That's what I want this to be about. I want this to be about championing freedom of speech, real freedom of speech, not, oops, you hurt my feelings, or, oops, you're going to get kicked off Instagram because you said a bad word, like you said whatever, transphobic. What? We've got to stop letting these platforms run our lives. All of us, including me, are on here too long. And we're not engaging with each other in a more positive, in a more way that says me and you can have conversation and disagree. I want to bring up this last thing because early on in my conversation, we talked about Free Palestine and we talked about the groups of people that are sort of championing that space. And I disagree with a lot of it. But what I don't disagree with is that people should be able to protest in this country. Peaceful protests are part of what America is about. But what I disagree with is stuff like this. So I'm going to show you this. And this guy's name, I think, is Kindle. Here, I'll look it up. But hold on. Let me bring this up. Hold on. No, not this one. Sorry. This one.
As a society.
Have you heard this? So this guy is a 20-year-old student at Columbia who is heading a lot of the protests of Free Palestine there. He is a 20-year-old they, them, she, he. Okay? They, them, she, he. Don't forget that. Listen.
Agree as a society, as a collective, that people, that person, some persons need to die if they have an ideology that results in the death of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions. If there are people like that who exist, shouldn't they die? Wow. Zionists, they're Nazis. They're Nazis. They're fascists.
Here's where I gotta show you how insane these people are. What? You literally called Jewish people Nazis. That in itself is so insane. Coming from a black transgender person. Are you effing kidding me? Literally calling for, this guy is calling for the murder and destruction of Jewish people.
They're supporters of genocide. Why would we want people who are...
What genocide? What genocide? I think it's the other way around, buddy. I think the Free Palestine, who are Hamas is calling for the full-on genocide and destruction of all Jewish people. You've gotten it backwards. It's backwards. Israel isn't creating a genocide. If that was the case, Gaza wouldn't even exist. They would destroy Gaza in 2 seconds. This is what I keep telling you all. They don't know what they're talking about. It's dangerous. This guy went on to get kicked out of school, by the way. Okay? Just so you know. Thank you, friend. Absolutely fine to protest, but very scary for Jewish students right now. That's right. That was what I said earlier. You can protest all you want, but when you stop Jewish students from going to their class, that becomes something else. It is no longer a protest. It's now violence against Jewish people. Okay? So we need to call it what it is, people. Tender Slug, thank you, friend. 3 out of 25 kids in my daughter's 6th grade class are trans. 6th grade? That's the grade my kid is in. She's happy just being a tom. This is not right. There is no way a 6th grader understands what trans and non-binary is, other than they're being indoctrinated into it. There's no way. No way. No way. He was suspended from Columbia. He sure was. He literally called for the demise and the destruction of Jewish people. Shut up, dude. I also believe this. I believe that a lot of that is coming from communism. When they say People's University, some of the language they're using, if you're an American in this room today, you better think about what's going on here and who's running the show. And you don't think Hamas, who runs Gaza, by the way, let's not forget that, has something to do with all of this Free Palestine and having all of these young kids shout that out without understanding what they're saying. That's the scary part to me. That's the scary part. You don't have to believe what I'm saying, but I highly suggest you do some research and look deep into what's going on, because it's scary. And it's not what they're trying to make it look like. Some peaceful protests. Free Palestine from Hamas. That's what we should be chanting. Also, do you all know chants are very cult? Do you know that? They create chants. Cults create chants. They create them. You know, think about Charlie Manson. Everyone knows Charlie Manson. He taught all those girls to sing songs and be like this. Every cult sings songs. They create chants. It's a way to indoctrinate you. Free Palestine is a chant. It has indoctrinated people into a thought process so they don't understand what they're saying. They're just saying it. Trans rights are human rights. A chant. Trans kids are kids. A chant. You see what I'm saying? It's a real thing. Pay attention. I beg of you, please pay attention. If you love this country and you love your democracy and you love having freedom of speech and you love all the things we have in this country, please pay attention. We have the right to vote for who we want to vote for. No matter what anybody says to you, you don't have to tell anybody who you're voting for. That's the beauty of it all. You get to go in, create your ballot, and make your vote. Don't tell people who you're voting for unless you want to. But I'm telling you, that's one of the most powerful, powerful things of our country. We get to vote for who we want to represent us. Remember that. Who you put in office is a reflection of what you want for this country and what you want for the future of this country. And if you like what's going on in this country right now, you know who to vote for. And if you don't like what's going on, you know we need to change. That's all. You don't need to tell people who and what you vote for. You just need to know what you want, okay? What you want for your family, what you want for the future, what you want for your kids, what you want for yourself, okay? I have been very lucky to live in this country, to grow up in this country, to have everything I need because of this country. So you can complain all you want that you don't have. Go live somewhere else. I dare you. I dare you. Go live somewhere else. Because you'll come back. I did. I lived somewhere else for 10 years. I came back. And here I live. Okay? So that's it. That's all I'm going to tell you. Be a good person. Put out awesome stuff. Be strong in your own will. Don't question yourself. You know who you are and what you want. Okay? Push back on people that you disagree with. You don't have to agree with people because you won't get into a fight. Okay? If somebody can't have a disagreement, they're not worth your time. But stand your ground, people. Understand where you live and what we need to do for our own country in order to actually be better people in this world. People have always looked up to us for a reason. People all over the world want to come to America for a reason. People want to live here and thrive here because you can. You can't do that in many other places in this world. Don't forget that, okay? Love you guys a lot. I'll see you guys on next Wednesday and have a beautiful rest of your day. And I'm not sure, is Seth still in the room? I have a reaction coming out. And I did a reaction to trans maxing. Whoa, that stuff is totally crazy. But know this, I love you and I care about you. And building this community means a lot to me. And I love that we all can have these conversations. And I love that we can all sort of help to create a better space in this world. And the number one most important thing is creating a space that we all can live in. Not just some of us, but all of us. See you guys on the next one.